When Ibrahim a.s. was going through this discussion with the king Namrud, and Ibrahim a.s. defeated him in this debate, Namrud posed a question that, okay, fine, you proved your point, but have you ever seen how your Lord brings dead people to life? You said, Rabbi alladhi yuhyi wa yumit. My Lord is the one who gives life and takes it away. But have you ever seen Him bring the dead back to life? So at that point, Ibrahim a.s. said, no, I haven't seen it. I don't need to see it. But he felt that maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show him, because he is already such a strong believer and he has faced up against his family, his nation, the king. So he made a request to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rabbi arini kayfa tuhyi al-mawta. Oh Allah, can you show me how you bring the dead back to life? It wasn't that Ibrahim a.s. had any doubts or that his belief was weak. He just wanted to see how it happens. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him, أَوَلَمْ تُؤْمِنْ? Have you not yet believed? In other words, haven't you believed that I am capable of doing this? He said, Bala, of course. Of course I believe, O Allah, that you do this and that you can do this. Just want to see how. لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي. I want my heart to be content. Not that his heart wasn't content before, but rather he wanted to reach the next level of contentment, which is where you have seen the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at work. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, fine, you take 4 birds. قَالَ فَخُذْ أَرْبَعَةً مِنَ الطَّيْرِ. Now which birds were there? There's some narrations from Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu and others that name those birds. For example, there was a dove, there was a crow, there was a swan, perhaps a rooster. 4 birds. Take them and tame them. Tame them to the extent that when you call them, they respond. So he did this. And then he was told to slaughter them. Slaughter them and take the meat from all these birds and mix it all up. After mixing it all up, he was to take this pile of chopped up meat, divide it into 4 parts, and put it on 4 different hills, 4 different mountains. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, once you've done that, you call them like you were calling them before when you had tamed them. ثُمَّ جَعَلَ عَلَى كُلِّ جَبَلٍ مِّنْهُنَّ جُزْءًا ثُمَّ ادْعُهُنَّ يَأْتِينَكَ سَعْيًا. Now you call them. So he went through this exercise of getting the birds, taming them, and then after they were tamed, then slaughtering them, cutting them up into pieces, and then taking all these mixed pieces and putting them on 4 different mountains, climbing up the mountains, coming back, going up the next mountain, coming back, doing all of this. And then he called out to them. And when he started calling out to them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed him that how the pieces of flesh and the feathers and the bones, everything comes together in mid-air, and the bird is formed, it is completed, and it comes flying right to Ibrahim a.s. and it comes and settles by him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed him His power. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us His power. But if a person was to say, no, I need to see it in order to believe it, then that's not belief, that's something you've seen. Our belief as Muslims is in ghaib. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. We are from those people who believe just because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that this is happening, this has happened, this will happen. We say, oh Allah, we believe. That's why it's called belief. But if you wait to see it and then you believe, then it's not belief at all. That's not called belief. In the case of Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had perfect iman prior to this. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed him just to make him happy, make him content. But before that, he was believing without seeing. And his belief was so strong that it enabled him to stand up to the whole world and present his faith to the whole world. So similarly, we also need to work on our yaqeen, our belief, our conviction in what Allah is, who He is, what He does, how He does things, how He works. We increase our faith in this, and there may be occasions in our lives where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us His power. And that will be a source of contentment for us, a source of happiness, and it happens frequently to people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows them something that increases their iman in what they already believe in. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen our iman and enable us to live with complete iman and leave this world with complete iman. Wa sallallahu wa sallama wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in.